Hello everyone, Scott here, and I wanted to make a video this morning that can help you hikers that are looking to maintain your mobility while you hike. And the best way to do that is to learn some things before you hike, and then you can apply them appropriately while you're hiking or through hiking or backpacking or whatever. So when you get to camp, I think the thing that we are all aware of if we've done long distance hikes is that you're probably tired. You probably don't want to do a whole bunch of extensive routines to help you maintain your mobility and your health. So let's do some things, and we'll do a series of videos, but let's do some things that are functional that you can use around camp and that will help maintain your mobility and your health. So things that you will actually be able to do and use. So let's start off with a movement here that will help you get down onto the ground. That's something you're going to have to do every time you get to camp. So what's the easiest way that I know to get down on the ground? Well, there are a number of them, but here's a very good way. And we'll start out and we'll just go through some movements here and see how easy and functional this can be. Because, of course, when you get to camp, you might want to sit on a log, have something to eat, maybe you've already eaten. Anyway, we tend to look around for a log in the campsite that we can sit down on. But that log may not be there. We may be pulling out our foam pad and sitting on the ground. Or we may have a count to get on the ground to get into our tent. So, let's start out with some simple movements. We're going to take the left hand, take the palm, turn it towards the floor, and begin to move in a circle around yourself. Now, as soon as you do that, you notice that I can bring the heel of my right foot off the ground. And if I do that, it's going to help me turn farther. So go ahead and do that movement a few times. All right? So you've begun to take your hand and turn to look around your right side. Now, if you also are able to bring the weight of your your right foot a little bit onto the ball of the foot, and as you turn, you lift the heel of the left foot and you bring yourself just a little bit onto the outside in front of your right foot. A little bit, not very much. You have the whole foot pretty much on the floor, but maybe you feel a little bit less weight on the heel. And what we're doing here is we're getting ready to pivot. So we're using our feet in a way that we can pivot, we can change our direction here a little bit. So again, bring your palm to the floor, facing the floor, and begin to turn around your right hip and look behind you. And so now you're going to experience quite a bit of twisting in your torso that is aided by lifting the left heel and also coming to the outside of your right foot. So let's do that a couple times. And then let's imagine doing that on the other side. Can you imagine that? The same movements. Turning your right palm to face the floor and beginning to turn around yourself to the left, and you look over that left shoulder and you raise the right heel. And then go ahead and do that. You already know how to do that. And you can raise the right heel pretty high if you want. All right. So take a moment, take a breath. And then we begin again with the left hand, palm facing towards the floor, and turning around yourself. But this time we stop. We do raise the left heel. Raise the left heel. But stop when that hand comes a little bit over the front of and to the right side of your right foot. So we do that movement. And now begin to do that movement with the palm of the hand going a little bit lower. And you notice when you do that, your hips are going to come backwards so that you stay balanced. You could do that to the other side. Raising the right heel. You don't look behind you. You take your hand and place it over and in front of and to the outside of your left foot a little bit. And come down. Now come down a little bit farther. Make sure that you bend your knees and do what you need to do with your feet to make this a very comfortable thing. So you bend your knees, and maybe your fingertips, if you bend your knees, it's not that hard. Maybe your fingertips can touch the ground here. Maybe all 5 of them can touch the ground. All right? So again, you have your feet a little bit more than hip width apart. And let's begin again. So now we know how to touch the ground with all the fingertips and to come back from that. We feel the turning in our feet. We feel the lifting of the opposite heel and the turning in the feet. All right? So this time, when you take your hand and put the fingertips on the ground, can you actually put the palm on the ground? And you'll be reaching a little bit in front of you. And again, now you'll be able to pivot a little bit on the right foot, and you'll feel that left heel off the floor. And this facilitates the movement a lot. It also gives you a way to work on your general mobility. You know, what if I need to turn this way or that way? Or what if I just need some ankle mobility when I'm walking? So all these things contribute to some things that are very functional. Now let's again put your hand on the floor and put some weight on it. Now begin to turn and pivot on your feet so that the left heel is completely off the floor, and then come back. So you come back from your palms up to your fingertips, and you turn back with a nice pivoting action on your feet. So let's go ahead and take this all the way down, and we're going to come and pivot and face like that, and then we're going to go forward, come back up to the fingertips, and we have a nice way to get up and down. So again, take a breath. And now the remaining step, you can practice this on the other side, but the remaining step is simply to see if you can make that easier. So now you know what you're doing, you know the coordination of that. So let's go ahead and put the whole movement together so that perhaps you see it as a whole movement, and you just go ahead and feel how you can do that more easily. Okay, a couple times, down and back. So that's what we have for today. This will be a good way to sit down on your sitting pad when you're in camp. Help you get in and out of your tent. You're going to be doing a little bit of pivoting to get in and out of your tent sometimes. And then we'll get on with some more functional movements that you'll actually use in camp and can help you be a little bit more healthy. And today we got to go through each step. And it's very important. Before you try something, you want to make sure that your body understands and your mind understands each step, so you know what you're doing when you do it. And then the second thing is, when you're doing any kind of mobility work, especially on the trail, do it gently, do it with awareness, do it cautiously, because the last thing you want to do is be a bull in a china shop and cause yourself an injury instead of staying healthy. So do everything in a coordinated, relaxed, easy manner, and be cautious and healthy. So we'll see you in the next video.